We might get canceled.
Hey guys, welcome to our vlog today. It's been a long time since we sat here talking to you, right? It's been a few months.
Yeah, not long enough.
You don't like sitting with me and talking?
I love doing that. I don't like it with...
You don't like talking to other people?
No.
Pablo doesn't like making YouTube videos.
They know that.
I know, I'm just reiterating. Today, we are talking about common misconceptions about America/Americans.
So what we don't like about America?
Stop it. You're not going
Okay.
to start that again. No, he gets it. I talked to him ahead of time about what the video was about so that he would get it. We do have to do a big disclaimer right in the beginning, right? Okay. We are not trying to defend any of these things. We are not saying America's better by any means. Actually, we like quite a few things in Romania better. So it's not that. We're just literally talking about the different misconceptions that we've seen. We've heard from some of our Romanian friends, oh, I thought it was this way in America. I'm like, actually, no. And so we thought we would do a quick video on that. I think we can say from our experience, because traveling with his band, we've been to 48 out of the 50 states in the United States, and we always stayed with other people. So we got to see all the different kinds of cultures, right?
I mean, we lived in various regions of the
Yeah,
US
we've
too.
lived all across the United States, and then we've been, like I said, to all but two, Alaska and Hawaii we haven't gotten to yet. But so we've been to a lot of different states. We've seen a lot of different things. I know it can be different for some people who mainly only, maybe if they visited the United States or they lived in one state, you might have a particular mindset or a particular view on things. It might be a little different. So that's why we feel we could make this video to explain some things. Maybe?
Maybe, I don't know.
So, number one, not all Americans own guns.
What?
It might seem different in movies, or especially what we hear in the media, right? Media is so skewed to, yeah, we're not gonna get all into all that, but don't trust everything you hear in the media, or they take an isolated incident and blow it out of proportion, or, yeah, anyway. Nobody should be watching the news all the time anywhere, because then you kind of get fearful and whatnot. Anyway, yeah, not everybody owns guns. And those that do, vast majority of them are very responsible gun owners.
Despite what you're being told.
Yes, and again, this is not a political conversation that we're trying to get into, whether guns you should have them or not.
We don't care.
We're not getting into that, right? We're just saying that a common misconception is that all Americans own guns and they're crazy, right? Because that's all we hear in the media is all the school shootings, which are tragic and awful and terrible and shouldn't be happening. But a lot of, like I said, the vast majority of gun owners are responsible. They use it for hunting.
We don't want to talk
No, I'm
about
just saying,
Oh.
they use it for hunting and protection. That's the vast majority of why people own guns in the United States, and they use them responsibly.
Some people like to collect them
Yeah.
as a
it's true.
hobby.
Number two, not all Americans eat fast food all the time.
No.
Despite what you've heard
No.
or seen, especially in movies.
No.
So I say that too because I've had other Romanians come to me and say, well, all Americans eat fast food every day, right?
No.
No, not at all. And do some Americans eat fast food every day? Yes.
Yes.
Do some Romanians eat fast food every
Oh
day?
my goodness, yes.
So, yeah, I remember growing up, we were lucky if we ate out once every couple months, maybe.
That's it?
Maybe.
Bro.
We also lived out in the country. There weren't options to eat out or even order food to be delivered. So we never ate out. Very, very rarely. I have friends back in the States that they never eat fast food. So that's a common misconception. Again, are there exceptions to every rule? Absolutely. There are plenty of Americans that do eat a lot of fast food, but it is not,
Common thing.
it's not widespread where every single person does.
At least in our circle of friends and people that we know.
Yeah. A lot of home cooked meals happen.
Oh yeah, and it's really good too.
Yeah, someone even asked me like, oh, you're American, you're cooking? Yeah, most of us cook. Most of us cook our own meals,
Oh.
despite what you see
That's awesome.
or hear. And while we're on the food topic, not all the food is bad. You've seen the documentaries, right? and you hear all the reports. Again, some of them are true as far as the chemicals that are allowed to be used in the foods. That's awful, shouldn't happen.
That's everywhere.
Well, the EU has stricter rules than they do in the
There's
United
still
States.
processed food. I can find
There's still processed food, yes.
Easily.
But, I mean, you can find organic, non-GMO foods in the United States. Absolutely. There's farmers markets. People even grow their own food. We grew up with a huge vegetable garden when I was young. Several of my friends have vegetable gardens,
Even in
fruit
the
trees.
city.
Yeah, so that food is available to eat, the bad food, whatever, but there's plenty of places to get good, clean food or grow it yourself.
It is a fact though, I've noticed, this is not the case here mainly. Actually, yeah, a lot of the marked bio foods tend to be more expensive.
Oh yeah.
And that's
absolutely.
all over the place, and just like everybody else, I would love to eat all that stuff, but why am I gonna sell my liver for a little
You can't sell
bite
your
of
liver. You
bio?
can sell a kidney.
I thought about selling a kidney.
Oh yeah, kidney.
You can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it feels like I have to sell my body completely to, like, in different pieces to
Sure,
eat
it's more
something
expensive.
cheap.
And like when they have a farmer's market or something in the United States, it's usually just on the weekends where you can go and get your food. Whereas here you can go to the piazza and any day and get your fresh vegetables. Hi,
It's so
Mila.
good.
Barbie lost her leg.
Daddy fixes everything apparently.
Yep, she still has only one leg.
It's better than none.
Another misconception
Straight my back.
we see is people who haven't been to the United States, sometimes they don't realize just how big it is, right? Romania is about the size of, I'll put on the screen, Oregon. And this is Oregon in the whole of the United States. So I know I've heard of people who come and they want to visit the United States in like a weekend. Obviously, that's not possible. Even if you were to fly, you
Well,
can't visit.
technically you could visit the United States in a weekend.
Not the entire United States.
Yeah. I
And just
gotcha.
how big it is. Here in Europe, we can drive, a few hours and be in another country. That's not really possible for
Unless you're in Eastern Europe.
so it's not really possible for most of the United States. But also when we first moved, people asked me, "Oh, you're from America. That's pretty cold there, right?" And I was like, well, it depends on where you live. We have tropical weather. You get tropical type of weather in Florida.
Yeah.
You get really cold weather in Montana.
America has such a distinct, right? Type of weather patterns experienced yearly compared to any other places in the world. Not saying that it's special, but because of the landscape that it has as a country, it really does experience different types of weather, and that shows you how vast the country is. The landscape, like we said, deserts, mountains, tropical weather, go Puerto Rico and go Southern Florida. You got the Gulf of Mexico that brings up a whole different type of beast into the weather patterns. So yeah, America is huge.
This seems like an obvious one, but we'll say it in case there are some people who might not realize not all Americans are wealthy or rich, right? We're not. So I know sometimes that can be a misconception. From what people see or hear, but again, we know people who live probably making less money than a vast majority of Romanians.
Isn't it? I mean, I'm speaking here just thinking, I think the majority of Americans are close to the
Poverty level.
by U.S. standards, which
Yes, by U.S. standards.
is kind of like average standards compared to the medium in all the other countries.
Mm-hmm.
There's an idea of being wealthy and being content. I don't know how to explain it. We talked about this before.
Monetarily wealthy is what I was referring to.
I've seen people that maybe they're not wealthy monetarily, but they find a way to live content. So in a sense, what I've seen from these kind of people that I've talked to or witnessed, in their minds, they seem like they're actually wealthy enough. I mean, I see that here. I know that in Romania, there's financially, there's a struggle. It's real. We also experience it ourselves. When you're able to find value in life itself, you become wealthy.
Well, it's like it talks about in the Bible too, being content with little or much, right? What you value in your life is what you're going to be content with. So
that doesn't wash off any difficulties or circumstances that life will throw your way. But if you find contentment and you're thankful for having a roof, my wife is healthy, my girls are healthy, we're living each day, then I'm wealthy.
True.
I don't need to make billions of dollars or millions of dollars to find happiness, because even the rich people will tell you they're still looking for happiness.
And another one, not all Americans are dumb.
Nah. I mean, have you looked at TikTok and...
Yeah, those aren't our best representations by any means. Or you see the people out interviewing somebody, you know, can you name 3 countries that begin with the letter S or something, and nobody can,
Oh,
right?
no, hold up. I think Zoomers struggle with that. It's a generation thing, I'm sorry.
Well, I think too, the public school system is not the best, obviously.
In general.
And so that plays a part into it. But they interview other people too, several other people who give the right answers. But again, they're looking for the drama and to make you laugh, yes. So not all Americans are dumb.
We have good education in America, but it depends on where you are at.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at for sure. And generationally, I think older generations look down on the youngers and think, oh, they're not doing as well, so I can't.
Like I just did.
Like you just did, yes.
But it's a fact though.
Okay.
It's a fact. If you talk to kids around geography.
Oh yeah, geography's terrible. But
are you terrible at geography?
I'm not the best at geography, but I've
Gotcha.
Again, what you see on TV or movies is handpicked.
You can find
right?
those people anywhere. I mean, I can go here in the streets and find some people that would say some silly stuff too.
So here's kind of a silly one, but someone pointed out to us, they think that the red Solo cups, right? If you've watched any American movies,
party.
it's like
a party in the USA.
It's like the party cup. Apparently, I didn't realize this.
It is.
No. I realize that now looking back. But one of our friends here, he was having a birthday party, and he's like, "I really want to get those red cups." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You know, the American party cups." And I was like, "The red Solo cups? Like if that's the brand is Solo." But you'd be surprised. We carry them in blue. We carry them in yellow.
And that's just it's just a go-to thing.
Yeah,
I think it's like an unspoken tradition, like in the summer or just hang out, family gatherings, whatever. You just party with those.
But not every party has those cups.
But yeah.
Barbecues, you think you do. But yeah, they come in multiple colors, not just red, what they show on movies.
That just feels like summer.
Okay. So you have that misconception too.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
We had so many other cups.
Let's go to the lake.
Cups too.
Let's go to the lake. We're gonna buy the red cups or the blue cups.
They're more expensive.
They're plastic and hardcore.
They are harder, which are a little nicer. But not every single party has those cups.
Bro.
You would disagree. I was homeschooled living in the country.
It's not a misconception though. It's like a tradition.
It's not a tradition.
It's an unspoken tradition. That's the way I would categorize it.
Maybe some people don't even know what we're talking about, but
Google it.
No, I'll put a picture on screen.
Oh, look at the picture. Tell me what you think. Does it spell out hangout, party, barbecue? Yerba Verde. See, that's what you bring to the Yerba Verde.
Okay.
Bro.
The last one. Again, we don't want to get political with anything. This is we debated even saying it, but I think it needs to.
It is.
Racism does happen, of course. It happens in the United States. It happens everywhere. We've seen it here. We've seen it in other countries. It is not exclusive to the United States, and it's not, I don't want to say that bad, because...
No. The fact, I'll say it. You guys can grill me for this. As a minority in America, I would say that, and having to experience some countries around the world, and reading and researching these things, and the laws, this is not political. I would say that the US is one of the least racist countries in my experience and in the world based on your research.
I have not met personally, and the thousands and thousands of people we have met, with touring and just living in the United States, I have not met somebody who is truly racist by any means.
I can debate that too. I think
Maybe.
in a way we all have some sort of
Prejudice
in our beings as humans, so we kind of can turn that trigger on or off, but it exists everywhere. I personally, I'll speak from this, I guess. I've noticed perhaps recently that in the US, I think there's just an obsession with the idea of racism. I think it's just an obsession lately because of politics, but in itself, I believe that in the United States, it's really one of the least racist countries. I have experienced racism myself, and it wasn't from, politically speaking, from white people to Latino. I actually experienced it from within the Latino community and other communities as well, but never from a white person. Maybe in other ways through what we call now, quote unquote, again, this is my opinion, systematic. We'll leave it at that. Maybe I experienced it that way, but I've never felt it directly from as it is portrayed in the news and social media and all these memes.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't say this to like lessen what other people have experienced.
No, not at all.
This is our experience and what we've seen, and yeah.
I have seen racism played out outside of the United States in my right before me, and yeah, we have spoken against it and we have stood up against it when we thought it was safe and wise to do it. The experiences that we experienced outside of the United States, I've never seen it played out just as clear back home in the US. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But this idea of being the most racist country right now, it's a great country. One of the greats. There's a lot of great countries in the world.
We made this video just to kind of be fun, lighthearted, maybe shed some light on some things that maybe you had thought about Americans, and now we're like, oh wow, that's different than what I imagined all this time. We don't want it to, like we said, we don't want it to turn political. That's not the intention at all.
If it turns political, it's because of you.
I'll turn off the comments.
Nah, just let them talk. They can tear each other up.
But we've had another video get blown up out of proportion when that wasn't the intention. So I hope that shed some light on some things for you. Maybe you already knew all those, and that's fine. But if you have any other ones that you know of, put them down in the comments below.
I still think Romania is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, country with the greatest people in the world.
I would agree. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Maybe. Bye.